Hey, what up, guys? So coming to you this morning, I want to do the weekend preview for this weekend coming up. We got March 23rd and 24th. We got two different cards on between those 2 days. Should be pretty decent. I haven't checked out the whole cards. I probably should have done that before my video. But in terms of the big names fighting, I got I know those to start off. I'm going with my list from the beginning, guys. I'm super busy with coaching baseball right now, so if I'm not digging deep into the cards, because it's fights that they're probably not going to be a big deal anyways. But I still like to be in detail, so I will get on it a little more. But I'm also coaching two teams right now, so give me a break if I'm not giving you every single fight that is featuring one of my top 10 or top 15 guys. So we'll start with March 23rd, which is tomorrow on ESPN. The whole card kicks off about 6 o'clock. It's gonna be on the undercard. The co-feature is Jesse Magdaleno, former 122-pound champion. Lost his title last year in his first loss of his career when he got stopped against Isaac Dogbe. He's been injured the last couple years and hasn't been very active, but he's coming back to take on former champion Rico Ramos. This is Magdaleno's debut at 122 or 126 pounds at featherweight. He's trying to get in line, possibly face Oscar Valdez later on. Looking forward to this one. Ramos shouldn't pose too much of a threat for Magdaleno. He's a former champ, but he never really made it big, and he hasn't really been anything for a few years. So I think Magdaleno should win this one. I'm predicting a middle to later rounds stoppage for Magdaleno in his debut at 126, and hopefully he can get his career going again because he is an entertaining fighter. He's a cross between a boxer puncher. He can mix it up, but he can also box pretty well as well. Also, and you know, the fight with Dogbe was great last year. He knocked him down early. Dogbe just kind of wore him down throughout the fight, but I think a lot of it had to do with stamina issues because he hasn't been very active since he won the world title against Nonito Donaire at the end of November. So, I'm really hoping he can bounce back and start anew with, next up is the main event is going to be a heavyweight main event. It's going to feature former world title challenger Kubrat Pulev as he takes on Bogdan Dinu, who's the guy that fought Jarrell Miller last year. Pulev is, you guys may not know the name very well, but two things about him. One, he fought Vladimir Klitschko a few years ago. He lost, and he got knocked out in that fight in 2014, but that's the only loss on his record right now. He fought Tyson Fury's cousin, Hughie Fury, and dominated him back in October, and now he's the mandatory number one contender for Anthony Joshua. So for one of Joshua's belts. So you could be seeing this guy face Joshua soon, or he could end up being a next in line after Tyson Fury's first fight in June. He could be the next guy to face Tyson Fury later in the year because Fury's fighting for ESPN now. So this guy's fighting for ESPN in top rank. So this guy could end up going in there against Tyson Fury, and he's not a bad fighter. He's a pretty solid boxer, and he's pretty good, well-rounded fighter. So we're gonna see what he can do in this one. Dainu, I don't think Dainu is gonna pose too much of a threat, but I see Pulev winning a late stoppage to a decision here, and staying on path for a world title shot or a possible shot against Tyson Fury. And really, a lot of times you can't go wrong with the heavyweights, guys. So check this one out. That's tomorrow night, Saturday, ESPN. And then on Sunday on Fox Sports 1, I just know the main event because they really didn't have a good undercard announced, but I think one or two decent names got onto the undercard. But the main event's going to be a good welterweight clash. It's former two-division champion Lamont Peterson against former 140-pound champion Sergey Lipinets. Now, Peterson, his last time out was in January of 18 when he got knocked out against Errol Spence. He got stopped in 8 rounds. But Peterson's a guy that has a win over Amir Khan. He went toe-to-toe with Danny Garcia, lost a majority decision. That was a fight a lot of people thought he won. Peterson's just been a grinder for years and been a solid, good-ass veteran for shit. I want to say since 2011, 2012 in that area. I mean, he's just been around, and he's just a tough, good, solid veteran. And he's at a crossroads now. After the knockout against Spence, I mean, we don't know what he's going to do next. If he's going to be still on the top level at welterweight. I have him ranked, I think, 14th at welterweight right now. This is a big fight. Lipinets is also not a pushover. This guy fought Mikey Garcia and lost his title last year, and that's his only loss. He got knocked down in that fight, but he showed a lot of heart, and he scrapped with Mikey down the stretch. Not a bad fighter. Um, the World Boxing Super Series didn't invite him to join the 140-pound tournament, so he ended up moving up to welterweight last year. He got a win. So it's a crossroads fight for him too, to see if he's on the level and if he can truly compete at welterweight and go after a second world title. So I actually think it's going to be a really good fight, and I think it could go either way. I really do. I'm giving Peterson a slight edge just because of his experience here, but I really wouldn't be surprised with his inactivity if Lipinets scored a decision win in this one and beat him. But should be a good one. Not huge fights, this weekend, but pretty solid fights. So you got ESPN tomorrow night, Saturday, March 23rd, and then you got Fox Sports 1, March 24th on Sunday. So make sure you're checking them out. All right, guys, that's it for the weekend. I'll come back with a recap probably Monday or Tuesday. We'll also do our What's Next. I'm going to be doing Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, and, Tevin Farmer coming up soon. So make sure you're paying attention to those. And, we're coming towards the end of the month. We got one more card next week, and then I'll be hitting you guys with the April TV schedule. So a lot of videos still to come, and I hope you guys have a good, safe weekend. All right, True Boxing out. I've been hit with the truth.